Hi everyone, welcome to this 2021 campsite tour of Plymouth Sound. It's a caravan and motorhome club site, perched right on top of the cliff overlooking the Sound, so it gets glorious views. We've got a sunny day, a little bit of a breeze, but let's show you around the site. Firstly, if I just show you the map, you'll see how the layout works. Yeah, these really are just lines of pitches all positioned to try and get the best view of the sea from wherever they are, and you do get some glorious views. It's a quite straightforward site, no facilities. It does have obviously water and toilet emptying, but no shower or toilet block, but it does have a great position. So let me show you around. The site is on Bovey Sand Lane in a little village called Down Thomas, about 4 miles south of Plymouth. Here's reception on the left. Does great trade in pasties. You can see here, order your pasties for Friday. We're just coming down to the row of pitches, pitches 1 to 7, which definitely have the best view overlooking Plymouth Sound, and you can actually see the breakwater that sits out in the Sound, built in 1812. The site slopes down to these pitches, so these are the ones that you will definitely need your levelling blocks just to make sure that you're going to be okay. Up towards the top of the site it's a lot more level, but of course you don't get such a close-up view of the Sound. As I said in the introduction, the pitches are all well sited to try and get a view over the sea, so I'll just take you down this run and then show you what's behind us. Go. View and a half. Hello. So I've just walked down this run of pitches to the top end of the site. It's pretty full today, you can imagine, with this weather and this location. But I'm walking up to this section here. So this is the edge of the site. As I said, it's not very big. It's full around the outside of the campsite. Just follow a look down there. You can see it's just straight rows of vans. Everybody has to be self-sufficient in their units, as there's no facilities. Just walk around to this section because this takes you up through into I think what was previously a camping field, because it's got pegs in it, but it's now designated as playground and the dog walk area. So it's basically a big field to run around in if you're little, and then the dog walk is a path cut through the biodiversity area, and it follows a circuit and comes out back around the top. This is used for something else, so if you watch till the end of the video you'll see what else goes on in this part of the campsite. I'll come down here and just show you the final section. You can probably tell that this site is quite open, so it does mean being high on a headland it can get a bit blowy, so be prepared for that if the wind picks up. This is the normal setup for a caravan and motorhome club site. So you've got recycling, general waste, drinking water, somewhere to empty wastewater, and of course chemical toilet emptying. And just over here is the motorhome service point as well. These are just a few houses on the left, but they're very private and very quiet. There was no issues at all. And here we are back at reception, and then we'll just walk down to the pitch that we had just over here on the right. Earlier in the video I said that the field at the top of the site was used for something else. We met up with a chap who flies his own Bengal Eagle Owl regularly at that spot, and we had a fascinating chat with him. How do you spell his name?
Emrys.
Right.
Yeah. Oh wow, look at that. That's so beautiful. How come you got him then?
So I've been doing falconry since I was 12.
Oh right.
Pretty much. I had my first bird, and then sadly he got a horrible chicken virus and passed away.
Oh no.
But then I've got Emrys now, and I've just been doing falconry ever since. Really, I've always been into it. I've always loved birds,
Right.
wildlife, and
Yeah.
just everything in that general sense.
So are you very into conservation and?
Well, he's part of a breeding program.
Oh,
right.
Right.
With the ties of getting an owl, I'm linked with the Hawk Conservancy Trust,
Yeah.
Right.
and with them, I have now kind of made an agreement. There are 6 lovely ladies, all lined up for Emrys. The goal is to at least get a couple of his eggs and a couple of his offspring back to Bengal,
right.
India.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a very hard process to get a bird out of the country
Yeah.
and then into another. Come on then.
Yes, I can imagine it is these days actually.
It's well, luckily it's out of my hands sort of thing. I've just got the stud really. So
Oh, he's so lovely.
in that sense, it's
Well, you're handsome,
Yeah.
aren't you? Wow.
We're having a chat.
Yeah.
he's very vocal. He's a very, very vocal owl, which because of course he's been competitive with other studs. If he doesn't tick all the boxes, then he doesn't become the main breeder.
Right.
Right.
The one thing that, when you have to write about his behaviour is pretty much like his dating profile app. The thing that I have to put is he is very, very noisy.
Yeah. Handsome though.
You're not getting it.
Yeah.
You think I'm getting it. If I fly to you, no. Yeah, this is not a very nice one.
You have to let them know who's in charge.
Yeah, you have to, well, if he had any say, he would definitely say, if he could talk, he would be I'm in charge.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
All done for coming over, you can have that. You can see it. But you ain't having any more.
Oh, his downy
soft.
feathers are beautiful, aren't they?
Yes, so
What are they for? Why?
So a lot of people saying, well, because he's from India, he should be really used to hot climates.
Yes.
But actually, India at night is very, very cold.
Oh.
Frighteningly cold.
Right.
It's all gone. You want to come up? You'll come up here. So you've got to kind of prove to them that I have no food.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Come on. You've got to work for your dinner.
Do you have any other birds?
No, gosh. He's a handful.
And so it looks like a full-time job.
It is
No,
a
we
full-time
saw
job.
from Scotland.
We went to Dunroman Castle.
And
There's a guy there who was running
yeah.
his own conservation program,
He
wasn't he?
was, yeah, yeah.
People brought him any injured birds or anything with problems, and then he'd
Yeah.
breed them.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. You know, injured birds, as much as it saddens me and it breaks my heart that when they can't fly, they are still good for breeding. They're still,
Yes, yeah.
they can still be used to help populate
Yeah.
the majority.
Look at those feathers.
Right?
Oh, lovely.
But I wouldn't, if I would say to own an owl, I would not recommend. Not really. Not if, unless if you have a lot of free time.
He could never go back out into the wild then now.
The domestication process is kind of, ever since he was little, has always been around. So he's completely domesticated. He would fly to humans, and he would, you know, come to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the whole
So we
kind
trust
of
them.
going free and being free would probably be out the picture for him. Very smart in the sense that he'll get closer and closer. He won't fly the 50 metres. As you can tell, he gets closer and closer and closer. That's just because he knows
Yeah.
I've got the food. But going back to the previous, I left him on the perch when no one was around during COVID, and he showed really promising signs. He did search in the biodiversity area.
Ah.
He was
Nice.
looking for food.
Yes, yeah.
But by the end of it, of course, he came back to me because he knew that I have food at the end of the day. What's the point of
Don't want to work too hard.
Yes.
no one? Yeah, well, when you have the opportunity to get fed really easily, would you work really hard?
Yeah. He's not daft then, obviously.
No, in that sense, owls are very smart. He's got a very nasty habit at the moment of going very fast. As much as I'd love him to just go into the distance sort of thing.
Yeah.
But he is, sometimes he's a bit too quick for me, and he's a bit unpredictable in that sense. He's
Yeah.
still got that wildness in him. Like
Yeah.
in the winter time, of course, owls are very unwaterproof. So what happens is he gets a lovely rest over winter, and he doesn't have to. He doesn't fly. We just feed him every day. We make sure, or we practice recall and certain tricks and things like that, just to keep him occupied. But yeah, it's quite hard when you have that sense. Oh, hello. Follow me. Owls are very, very lazy.
Oh.
They'll do anything for an easy meal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey. 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 There you go. I just think he looks like a little feathery moth. Oh, yeah, well, pretty much just always, all the time. A lot of people think it's a sign of feed me. It's not, it's just telling me, I'm here, I'm bigger than you, I'm better than you, and I'm not going to lie, it is the most continuous thing that I have ever heard. Go on then.
See something.
Normally if Emrys starts looking into the phone, normally he'll pop that, but if he starts actually out with the nosy, that much, that's a good thumbs up from me, and that's a, oh okay, thing. So what Emrys is doing is, when we play this game, it's a game of wits over actually, because he knows if I put loads of effort in, I'll go left and right and I'll waste energy. He doesn't want to do that. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to catch me off guard. Once he's mulling around, having a look, what he's actually doing is waiting for me to completely not look. I'll put over here on it, I accidentally leave it, and then look, if I start ignoring it and I start not doing it, that's when he starts focusing. What he's doing is he's an opportunist owl. So what he's doing is just waiting for that right moment where I'm not paying attention. He'll come straight at me. But it's him just trying to play the game. Oh, sorry, Emrys. Oh, hi. Sorry about that, bud. You can go back. Oh, nice one. And good man. 23.
How old do they become?
Huh? You can live till about 28. But it's hard to get owls to do loads of repetition. You have to really do it until they get it. That's why if you ever watch a Falconry show, they say we put hours into our birds. They literally mean hours upon hours, because as you can tell, they don't do anything for no reason. Oh yeah.
I'm lost it.
He suddenly just goes, doesn't
I'll
he?
let him have it this time. Hey! He's figured out where the food is. So he's doing all the...
Yeah, he automatically does the protective bit, doesn't he? Yeah.
It just shows how big he is, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is to kind of get Emrys interested in the food. But when we lift it up in the air, what we're doing is we're actually practicing his aiming skills. If I kept doing it on the floor and we were running along the floor all the time, he would attack the bum. And that's what you don't want, because that's where the legs of a rabbit is, and that's where all the power. So the kicking would then start to kick in, and it could actually really damage him. So what we're doing here is we're training him to go for the neck and the head, and that is a swift, easy kill. Emrys is going through another process which is called a molt.
Yeah.
Get rid of a few of them pesky feathers that have gone a bit damaged and are out of use. Grows brand new ones. Yeah, so actually you can gauge age by an owl just by the colour of their eyes. It only works for diurn or turgid owls, where if his eyes are orange, they come out at dawn and dusk, and you can tell how old he is by how deep orange they get. Pretty much when he gets to about 28, when he's getting really old, they'll be practically amber red. They'll be that different colour. His belly will change as well. They'll go from like this nice...
Mine has as well.
Yeah, hopefully he'll get a bit of a belly, but he'll get, instead of this lovely pattern, at the very top it's starting already. Oh, sorry. It's getting lovely white. And this will grow all on his belly, and pretty much this lovely tan colour that he's getting goes all over his back. So he completely changes form. This is just showing that he's quite a juvenile bird.
It doesn't make you stroke.
Not really. Well, this is the wildness part of him. If I ever get, well, he's had lovely 3 chicks today, so he's quite heavy.
Right.
I can feel it now.
Right.
But he will bite me, and he still will bite. And that's just to tell me, get off. I didn't like you touching my belly. That's because it's a vulnerable spot. But sometimes you have to touch it to make sure that everything's good.
Yeah.
Which is not a nice job. But
Can you touch me?
just to prove how it looks horrible, doesn't it? But luckily I've got quite flexible skin, and I've got I'm just used to it. But what happens is when I get all the up in his face, I don't like bothering like that.
No.
But
Can it damage any oil on his feathers stroking him?
this is the thing. So when you do go up, you stroke owls. You stroke with the back of the hand, not the front, because there is acid.
Tufts.
Yeah.
Are they for a reason?
So these tufts are for display, you know, to make himself look pretty.
I was going to say, if he's fancies somebody, does he just stick them
they
up?
stick right forward.
Oh, do they?
Well,
right.
Emrys has just reached sexual maturity,
Oh.
but he's really in the, Bengal Eagle Owl sector, he's quite small. He's a run of the litter, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And pretty much we were quite keen till he was about 4. We were like, maybe he could go in, but just comparing him to the size of a female, he would get bullied very easily because he's just so small. He's not a real idealistic male. The females are the picky ones.
Yeah. Quite rightly so.
So sadly, this is where Emrys, as a stud-wise, might not win the competition as such, because he is just a small little owl, really.
Turn around with your beautiful eyes.
Oh, something from sound.
Yeah.
That was a happy call. They're very rare you get those.
Really?
Very well. A bellow, that's what a bellow is. That was quite a high-pitched bellow.
Yeah.
Normally get a very low. These are a sign that pretty much is telling them that I love you. So,
I'll take my clothes in, but I still love you.
I love you, really. It's a tough love. It's a tough love. But hello. Hello. But yeah, well, Emrys is out breeding season now. He would only do these bellows to kind of attract females.
Yeah.
But
How do the other birds take to him then?
actually, well, as some people saw yesterday, all the birds are coming in. So when an owl, for example, especially these sort of birds, if they're bird of prey, it takes, there's not many food around.
Yeah.
So if an owl was flying here every day, to other birds of prey, this must mean this is a really good spot. So what happens is it brings all the other birds in. So we do get a kestrel that flies here pretty much every day.
Oh, right.
And we get a very big buzzard.
Oh,
Big female, she comes along.
yeah.
The kestrel was a bit more confident around Emrys, where they were actually, I've got a very good photo where they're literally sat not right next to each other, but about a post width apart. And they're looking at each other and they're kind of eyeing each other up.
Yeah.
But the buzzard as such, I think she's eyed it as that's quite a big bird.
Yeah.
And they do keep their distance. But there's one very, very confident jackdaw that pretty much...
Only one.
Only one. Normally they come in groups. But
Yes. Yeah.
pretty much, this jackdaw is very confident in the state of, he has almost flown onto my arm and landed on me.
Wow.
I haven't had any influence on this bird, but the whole of last year watched and studied falconry, and I think he's got into his head, well, if I do what this owl's or what this bird's doing, I'll get fed as well. So this is what happened.
They are
I
quite
haven't given a name,
intelligent,
but
aren't
someone
they?
said Jack yesterday, and I quite like the name, Jack the Jackdaw.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, not many people can, well, falconers are very good in the sense of if they keep them in a ring and you can't get that close, it makes people want more.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, it's also to protect birds from people, but if you keep a person and a bird at such a distance for such a long time, if, God forbid, they ever escaped, they will always want to be that distance apart from people, unless if it's their falcon. And if someone found Emrys and wanted to try and get him for me, that's a very hard thing. You couldn't just walk up to him and just be like, oh, hello, Of course, I wouldn't give him a little stroke. He would get what I would get. What I would try and do is aim for these, and if you have a garden glove will do, but this will do a lot better. You can grab him, and he understands completely once he's tethered and he's on here. He knows that he's on safely. At the moment, what he's doing is, if you watch, I bet you money or anything besides pooing, I think he knows that there's either a pigeon or a rabbit that is just in that corner, and he's probably quite.
Good answer.
Is there something over there?
I don't know, I can't see it.
Well, he can see the fine print of the newspaper from half a mile away.
It's just amazing their eyesight.
I can't believe that myself, but they have. To us, well, he's got the amazing ability. If you watch his pupils, they will dilate, contract all the time, and that's just because Emrys can't look left or right. he is fixated. That's why they can turn their heads all the way around. First law of evolution, if something has been given an advantage, something must be taken away. So the amazing ability of eyesight for focusing on things is amazing. You can't look left and right, so that's why the all the way around sort of thing goes around. But another disadvantage, having amazing talons, great hearing, he has no sense of smell.
Oh.
Here comes the ducks. So,
Dinner.
well, this is the thing. This is a prey item for Emrys. That is a potential, and that's just because ducks are a slow flying bird. So he could take that one on, mostly if they were on the water. But for example, a pigeon might be a maybe. But if you went, for example, like a swift or a swallow,
No.
definitely not. That's where you get falcons and you get hawks. He's like a big old tank.